I must inform members that the clerk of the committee can only receive motions for the election of chair. The clerk cannot receive other types of motions, cannot entertain points of order, nor participate in debate. We can now proceed to the election of chair. Pursuant to Standing Order 1062, the chair must be a member of the government party. I'm now ready to receive motions for chair. Mr. Fergus.
J'aimerais proposer à l'honorable Bardis-Chagger en tant que présidente.
Propose that Bardis-Chagger be appointed.
It has been moved by Mr. Fergus that Bardis-Chagger be elected as chair of the committee. Are there any other motions for election? Seeing none, it has been moved by Mr. Fergus that Bardis-Chagger be elected as chair of the committee. Pursuant to the House Order of Thursday, November 25th, I can declare Ms. Chagger elected. I invite Ms. Chagger to take the chair. Congratulations.
They take the chair somewhere.
This is probably the best place near the hammers.
First of all, thank you for the warm welcome. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to be with you, and I look forward for us to get some really good work done. So donc, c'est vraiment un honneur et un privilège.
This is an honor and a privilege for me to be here with you this afternoon.
As in agreement, I will invite the clerk to proceed with the election of vice chairs. We have an agreement? Agreed?
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Pursuant to Standing Order 1062, the first vice chair must be a member of the official opposition. I'm now prepared to receive motions for the first vice chair. Mr. Barrett?
I nominate Eric Duncan.
It's been moved by Mr. Barrett that Mr. Duncan be elected first vice chair. Are there any further motions for election? Seeing none, it's been moved by Mr. Barrett that Mr. Duncan be elected first vice chair of the committee. I declare the motion carried. Conformément à l'article 106.2,
Pursuant to Standing Order 1062, the second vice chair must be a member of the opposition from a party other than the official opposition. I am now ready to hear motions for second.
Monsieur le greffier, j'aimerais proposer.
Yes, clerk. I suggest Alain Terrien as vice chair of committee.
proposé
Thank you, Mr. Fergus. Mr. Fergus, it has been moved by Mr. Fergus that Mr. Terrien be elected. Any other motions?
Donc, il est proposé par Monsieur Fergus que Monsieur.
It has been moved by Mr. Fergus that Mr. Terrien be elected as second vice chair. I declare the motion carried.
Sherry?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I'm delighted to see you as chair of this committee. And it's for my first time being on this committee. I'd like to propose some routine motions.
Can I just wait till we get to other business to do that? I just need to put some words into the record.
Thank you.
These are really serious responsibilities of the chair that I must do diligently. So I just want to make sure that everyone is welcomed to meeting number 1 of the House of Commons Standing Committee on Procedure and House Affairs. Today's meeting is taking place in a hybrid format pursuant to the House Order of November 25th, 2021. Members are attending in person in the room and remotely using the Zoom application. The proceedings will be made available via the House of Commons website. So you are aware, the webcast will always show the person speaking rather than the entirety of the committee. Today's meeting is also taking place in the webinar format. Webinars are for public committee meetings and are available only to members, their staff, and witnesses. Members enter immediately as active participants. All functionalities for active participants remain the same. Staff will be non-active participants and can therefore only view the meeting in gallery view. I would like to take this opportunity to remind all participants to this meeting that screenshots or taking photos of your screen is not permitted. Even though I know you probably want every single memory possible, but they will have to live in your heart and mind. Given the ongoing pandemic situation and in light of the recommendations from health authorities, as well as the directive of the Board of Internal Economy on October 19, 2021, to remain healthy and safe, all those attending the meeting in person are to maintain 2-meter physical distancing, must wear a non-medical mask when circulating in the room, and it is highly recommended that the mask be worn at all times, including when seated. Must maintain proper hand hygiene by using the provided hand sanitizer at the room entrance. As the chair, I will be enforcing these measures for the duration of the meeting, and I thank members in advance for their cooperation. To ensure an orderly meeting, I would like to outline a few rules to follow. 1. Members participating on Zoom, you may speak in the official language of your choice. Interpretation services are available for this meeting. You have the choice at the bottom of your screen on either floor, English, or French. If interpretation is lost, please inform me immediately and we will ensure interpretation is properly restored before resuming the proceedings. The raise hand feature at the bottom of the screen can be used at any time if you wish to speak or alert the chair. For members participating in person, proceed as you usually would when the whole committee is meeting in person in a committee room. Before speaking, please wait until I recognize you by name. If you are on the video conference, please click on the microphone icon to unmute yourself. Those in the room, your microphone will be controlled as normal by the Proceedings and Verification Officer. When speaking, please speak slowly and clearly. When you are not speaking, your mic should not be on mute. A reminder that all comments by members and witnesses should be addressed through the chair. With regard to a speaking list, the committee clerk and I will do our best to maintain consolidated order of speaking for all members, whether they are participating virtually or in person. And now I guess we can go to other business, and I will acknowledge Ms. Ramnado with the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. So I would like to go through the routine motions. I will do them one at a time, if it is the pleasure of the committee. I will start with analyst services, that the committee retain, as needed and at the discretion of the chair, the services of one or more analysts from the Library of Parliament to assist in its work. Do you just want me to continue with each motion?
One at a time.
Yeah, let's do one at a time.
Okay.
And just make sure so you finish the first.
Mm-hmm.
Is there agreement or any discussion?
No.
I would like to welcome the analyst to join us at the table. Thank you. Okay, I just want to make sure, just so that we are all on the same page, because I really do want to do my best at being a committee chair and having us be able to function amongst ourselves in a cooperative way. Are we okay for the purpose of passing these motions, giving a thumbs up or nodding our heads, or would you prefer to speak into your mics to say yes or no? We're okay with thumbs? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Number 2.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
congratulations on your selection, and look forward to working with you at least today, as I'm a temporary replacement. I think there will be some motions where there'll be some discussion, and so you can judge that accordingly.
Chair. Donc, la deuxième délégation de pouvoir.
Next, that the mandate of the selection committee under 1.4, 1.13, and 1.14 be delegated to the 4 whips, and that the whips be authorized to give to the chair a report signed by all 4 whips, their unanimous recommendations, so that these be recommended to the House on behalf of the committee.
In the English version, on the 5th line, it says 4 whips, but it should be 4 FOUR. Thank you.
We'll get that corrected. Thank you.
Noted. Mr. Duncan?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and congratulations. Look forward to working with you. On this motion of the striking of other committees and so forth, I think an amendment we would like to propose for this, that the motion be amended by adding the following. Provided that the recommendations for the report referred to in its paragraphs E and G of the order adopted by the House on Thursday, December the 2nd, 2021, shall be presented to the Chair no later than 5 p.m. on Wednesday, December the 8th, 2021, and that the Chair be instructed to present the report to the House no later than Thursday, December the 9th. And I have for the clerk copies for colleagues of that amendment. And just to speak to that, Madam Chair, we all want committees back, and I think we want to do it in a reasonable way possible. So I think this time frame and having those dates provided as an amendment will allow House administration not to be jammed in the work of getting committees struck up, and they have the time and the resources to reasonably do so. So I would put that amendment forward to the motion that was put forward on the government side.
Any discussion or thoughts on the amendment yet? Mr. Fergus.
It's more of a procedure, Madam Chair. I just want to make sure that this is also distributed electronically so that those who are participating, pour ceux qui participent en ligne, ils ont la...
Those who are participating online, we want to ensure that they have the chance to read the same amendments to the motion, to read this amendment moved by Mr. Duncan.
Or, Madam Chair.
Mr. Gerritsen?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that Ms. Sahota and I have our hands up in the virtual world. So, but I just as raised by Mr. Fergus, I certainly would like to see a copy of this because I know that Mr. Duncan referred to 2 items by only letter, and I just need a second to digest all of this. So can we get this sent to us by email and give us a few minutes with it before we vote on it, please?
We understand that it is being emailed shortly.
Part of our hybrid world, it's on its way to the clerk to be sent to you.
We're all friends around here. You could have sent it to us in advance, Eric.
I just don't like bugging you any more than I have to, Mark.
Fair.
I wanted to ask a question.
Yes, Ms. Sahota?
Thank you. I just wanted to ask Mr. Duncan, opposition members, you may know yourselves, have the whips been in discussion on this item since it is relating to them? I'm just wondering if all of the whips have had a conversation about this amendment. Is there any knowledge of that?
I would say, Madam Chair, it's part of the ongoing conversations back and forth. I think there's been conversations about establishing committees, and there have been discussions on the timeframes of how to best do that. So I would say on the specific date, I don't think specific consultation, but I will say the general will of making sure that we can get committees up as soon as possible, and also making sure by this time frame that we have the House resources being able to accommodate that request. So I think it's in the effort of both getting committees up and also making sure House administration not be jammed. I think one of the unique things about this is for opening meetings, it takes 2 clerks as an example. Is that correct, Justin, in terms of some resources even?
Madam Chair, I can answer that. Generally, Mr. Duncan, you're correct. It would usually take 2 clerks, but that's for the purposes of conducting the chair's election when it's an in-person meeting, because we have a secret ballot. But because we're under the hybrid rules, 1 clerk can do it because we do the election differently. Had there been more than just 1 candidate for chair or vice chairs, then I would have put each motion separately until 1 had been adopted. So the requirement wasn't in place to have 2 clerks for this meeting.
Thank you for the clarification. I would just say it's still, from terms of other House administration resources required, this date and having this deadline, I think, would accommodate and respect being able to do it in an organized manner for House administration as well.
I see that Mr. Garrison, your hand is still raised. Would you go ahead, Mr. Garrison?
It's been, I lowered it and then I raised it again. I don't know if Mr. Duncan answered the question that Ms. Hoda asked, which was, have discussions happened between the whip's offices? Because as we know, a lot of this stuff is worked out and ironed out between the various offices in advance, and then we come here and we have all of that background before doing this. And my take on this is that we're a little taken offside on this, so we're not in a position to vote on this right now. Perhaps we should move on. We can suspend on this particular item, move on to the rest, and then come back to this after our whip's offices have had an opportunity to chat about this and to look at it. And hopefully there aren't any more surprises like this. Otherwise, this is unfortunately going to drag on. I was half joking when I said you could have sent this stuff to us in advance, because then it gives us an opportunity to look at it. We're certainly not going to vote on something until we fully understand it and the implications of it. So, Madam Chair, perhaps you will indulge or ask the committee if we could move on to the next item and then come back to this.
I will definitely do that. Thank you, Mr. Garrison, for that intervention. I do want to just acknowledge that in order for us to proceed with committees, and I know the conversations that have taken place in regards to most parties wanting committees to advance, this is a motion that we do want to see advanced or adopted before we finish. So if it is Mr. Barrett.
Yeah, thanks, Madam Chair. Congratulations on your election. Looking forward to working with all members of the committee. With respect to the amendment proposed by Mr. Duncan, this allows us only to achieve exactly what the order of the House has prescribed, and is consistent with discussions amongst the House officers of all recognized parties in the House. And so I appreciate that the specific language that's in front of us may be new to some of the members at the table, having just seen it for the first time, and we'll undertake to provide amendments at the earliest possible opportunity to all colleagues at the committee going forward. I expect that this language will be supported by the other party whips, because this is in keeping with the order from the House and allows us to have all committees stood up before Christmas. So if it is possible for us to continue on and deal with the other items, that's perfectly fine. But it's certainly an imperative that we ensure that the order of the House is fulfilled in spirit and in writing. Thanks.
Unless there's any dissenting thoughts, I think it's okay then for the whips to go offline to have this, and we continue with the next point. Mr. Garrison?
I was just going to say that I believe during our discourse on this, they have had an opportunity to do that. And I think that we're in a position to be able to vote on it now.
Do you want to lower and raise your hand again one more time right now? Well,
It depends. It depends if Mr. Barrett's going to speak or not.
it sounds like there is some agreement. Are we okay with having the amendment be adopted? Excellent. And so then can we approve them?
That's right, approve the motion as amended.
Can we? I watch this on TV. I'm cool like that. Can we approve the motion as amended? Yes. Excellent. Excellent. We've got voices. Ms. Raminato.
So the third routine motion, Subcommittee on Private Members' Business, that pursuant to Standing Order 91.11, the Subcommittee on Private Members' Business be composed of one member from each recognized party and the chair from the government party, and that Ruby Sahota be appointed chair of the subcommittee.
Agreed?
Okay.
Ms. Raminato.
Sous-comité du programme et de la procédure que le
Subcommittee on Agenda and Procedure, that the Subcommittee on Agenda and Procedure be established and composed of 5 members, the chair, 1 member from each party, and that the subcommittee work in the spirit of collaboration.
Agreed. Okay. Ms. Raminato.
meeting without a quorum, that the chair be authorized to hold meetings to receive evidence and to have that evidence published when a quorum is not present, provided that at least 4 members are present, including 2 members of the opposition parties and 2 members of the government party. But when traveling outside the parliamentary precinct, that the meeting begin after 15 minutes, regardless of members present.
Agreed?
Time for opening remarks and questioning of witnesses, and that witnesses be given 5 minutes for their opening statements, that whenever possible, witnesses provide the committee with their opening statements 72 hours in advance, that at the discretion of the chair, during the questioning of witnesses, there be allocated 6 minutes for the first questioner of each party as follows. For round 1, the Conservative Party, the Liberal Party, Bloc Québécois, and New Democratic Party. For the second and subsequent rounds, the order and time for questioning be as follows. Conservative Party, 5 minutes. Liberal Party, 5 minutes. Bloc Québécois, 2.5 minutes. New Democratic Party, 2.5 minutes. Conservative Party, 5 minutes. And Liberal Party, 5 minutes.
Agreed?
Perfect.
Thank you.
Distribution du document que seul le...
Document distribution. That the clerk of the committee be authorized to distribute documents to members of the committee only when the documents are available in both official languages, and that witnesses be advised accordingly.
D'accord?
In agreement?
Okay. Working meals, the favorite of everyone. That the clerk of the committee, at the discretion of the chair, be authorized to make the necessary arrangements to provide working meals for the committee and its subcommittee.
Agreed? So we just, if there's any allergies or concerns, if you can please have those submitted. If there's ever members that are swapping at meetings, just a heads up so that we can ensure that we accommodate.
Thank you. Frais de déplacement et de séjour des témoins.
Travel, accommodation, and living expenses of witnesses. That, if requested, reasonable travel, accommodation, and living expenses be reimbursed to witnesses not exceeding 2 representatives per organization, provided that, in exceptional circumstances, payment for more representatives be made at the discretion of the chair.
Agreed?
Mm-hmm. Access to in-camera meetings, that unless otherwise ordered, each committee member be allowed to be accompanied by 1 staff member at an in-camera meeting, and that 1 additional person from each House officer's office be allowed to be present.
Agreed?
Okay. Transcription des réunions.
Transcripts of in-camera meetings. That 1 copy of the transcript of each in-camera meeting be kept in the committee clerk's office for consultation by members of the committee or by their staff. And that the analysts assigned to the committee also have access to the in-camera transcripts.
Agreed?
Okay. Notice of motion, That a 48-hour notice interpreted as 2 nights be required for any substantive motion to be moved in committee unless the substantive motion relates directly to business then under consideration, provided that A, the notice be filed with the clerk of the committee no later than 4 p.m. from Monday to Friday. B, the motion be distributed to members in both official languages by the clerk on the same day the said notice was transmitted if it was received no later than the deadline hour. C, notices received after the deadline hour or on non-business days be deemed to have been received during the next business day, and that when the committee is holding meetings outside the parliamentary precinct, no substantive motion may be moved.
Mr. Fergus?
Oui, bon, merci, Madame la Présidente. Puis
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to move an amendment to Section B. Section B, Notice of Motion. Amend by adding, it says, notice be distributed to, that the motion be distributed to members, and I'd like to add, and to whip offices of all recognized parties. Do we agree with this amendment?
Ended? Excellent.
Orders of reference from the House respecting bills. That in relation to orders of reference from the House respecting bills, A, the clerk of the committee shall, upon the committee receiving such an order of reference, write to each member who is not a member of a caucus represented on the committee to invite those members to file with the clerk of the committee in both official languages any amendments to the bill which is subject of the said order, which they would suggest that the committee consider. B, suggested amendments filed pursuant to paragraph A at least 48 hours prior to the start of clause-by-clause consideration of the bill to which the amendments relate shall be deemed to be proposed during the said consideration, provided that the committee may, by motion, vary this deadline in respect of a given bill. And C, during the clause-by-clause consideration of a bill, the chair shall allow a member who filed suggested amendments pursuant to paragraph A an opportunity to make brief representations in support of them.
Agreed?
Essai technique pour les témoins que le groupe.
Technical tests for witnesses, that the clerk inform each witness who is to appear before the committee that the House Administration Support Team must conduct technical tests to check the connectivity and the equipment used to ensure the best possible sound quality, and that the chair advise the committee at the start of each meeting of any witness who did not perform the required technical tests.
Agreed?
Okay. Linguistic review, that all documents submitted for committee business that do not come from a federal department, members' offices, or that have not been translated by the Translation Bureau be sent for prior linguistic review by the Translation Bureau before being distributed to members.
Agreed? Agreed.
Perfect. That's all I have, Madam Chair. Thank you.
si la tendance se maintient, Madame la Présidente, on va avoir rien.
If things continue this way, Madam Chair, we will have nothing but unanimous reports.
So I do believe that I like this. I would like this to stay. I'm not sure. But is there anything else that we need to discuss today? Yes.
Just want to make sure, Madam Chair, that the subsequent meetings of PROC, I'm new at this committee, the next one will be on Tuesday at 11 o'clock, if I understand correctly?
Ms. Romanado, I could answer that. The meeting schedule for PROC meetings tends to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 1. So today being Friday, the next logical one would be on Tuesday at 11.
Perfect. Thank you.
Excellent. With that, I hope everyone keeps well and safe, and I will adjourn the meeting.
Thank you so much.